It's you! Good on Cruel Garen to send you. I was worried the Hierophant might get away after all. Managed to get into a pretty good spot here. Ain't getting gutted just yet, so I'd be obliged to get me out before that comes. Gnomes always seem friendly enough, but these Praetorians ain't messing around. They'll kill anyone that gets in their way. It must be something to do with this book. It's got to be something important, like getting me out of here. Oh, you mean the beloved guide of the travellers? More like the pompous despot what got me locked in here. The Hierophant's will is what got me locked in here. I'd love to tell you more after you get me out. I was set up. The Hierophant set me here to steal an old book, the Missives of Sable, from some Jotun. Sounded easy enough, but I was ambushed by a troop of gnomish Praetorians searching for the missives. They want that book, Dove, and they'll kill both of us for interfering. Steal the cell key, or pick the lock and get my tools, and I can sneak out. Or you could beat the gnomes to the missives, and bargain our way to freedom. I can't just walk out, so you'll have to recover my tools. Bust the lock, or steal the key to open the cell. Or, if you can get to the Missives of Sable, the book both the gnomes and I came for, you could bargain our way to freedom. Well, it's what everyone here came for, isn't it? Some bloody old tome. But it must be real valuable to cause all this. Thing is, neither the gnomes or I got it, which means it's deeper in the stronghold, with the Jotun. Find it, and we can buy our way out. It's an assortment of tools I use when I pull jobs. No good traveller steals his living without the tools of the trade. Since these gnomes are on such high alert, I'll need them tools to escape from here, if I'm to have a head at the end of this. Hurry. I don't know how long these known Praetorians will be keen on keeping me alive. Are you close to freeing me? The known Praetorians are so balmy to get at that book, it might buy our way out of here. I'd try talking to the Centurion and see if we can't make a deal. Hurry.
This area is now under Gnomish control. We won't tolerate any infractions of justice here.
Leave me be. I'm watching you, thief. Keep your
Another traveller? This place is lousy with your kind. If you think you'll get any better than that one in the cell... Wait a moment. You have the sacred text. Surrender it to me at once. It is not your concern. That will suffice. The other traveller. The fool blundered in as though we were nothing but dumb animals. We quickly showed him what he was up against. I've no interest in your meaningless chatter. Give the missives to me, and you can have whatever it is that you wish. The thief is free to go as promised. You may have the key to his cell. Now both of you, get out of here! Do not test my word. Do not test my word. I have little patience for you as it is. This area is now under Gnomish control.
Dove, I don't know how long these known... Then what are you talking to me for? If you can free me, then free me! Hurry. Dove, I don't know how long these... I hate giving those damn Praetorians what they want, but it was the only real way, weren't it? It's all the fault of the damned Hierophant. But now that I'm free, we'll just see how much our dear leader will regret leading me to this cell. I'm making myself scarce, Dove, and you best do the same. But I'll be seeing you before too long. Count on it. Hurry.
The season is upon us. The time of the flowering is come. Yet I fear there'll be no ceremony, no flowering, no joy. Why, it is the finest, most miraculous thing. It is... No, there is no worthy description. But alas, Bodril has not returned. With no one to play his part, I fear it is not to be. I asked the mortal maid for help, but she refused. I have resigned myself to sorrow. Why, Bodril is... Well, he always returns to take part in the flowering. Only now the season has come, but he has not. Why, I cannot say. Go. He has returned to the great cycle, of course. He gives himself to the flowering, and the ceremony is complete. She was looking for one of her kind. I asked if she would help with the flowering. I was very patient. I explained that the ceremony was far more important than her lost friend, but she would not have it. Mortals. Then I rejoice. Bodril's first task, your first task, I mean, is to gather the chrysalis. The chrysalis are seeds of sorts. You'll find them throughout the woods. When you've gathered them, seek me in Brunwath Hollow. That task was Bodril's. They spread throughout Locharain. Of that I'm certain. Every new leaf in Boggart's dance I see brings joy to my heart, but nothing equals my joy at the flowering. When the time of the flowering draws near, Bodril arrives. It's then we set to work, he in his way and I in mine. Only this time, he's delayed. He has not come. She came in search of things. A mortal boy, some ancient fragments. I do not pretend to understand the thoughts and workings of mortals. Yes, you might call it that. But I say, our woods, our streams, our ancient stones. We are theirs as much as they are ours. The flowering is our ballad, Bodril's and mine. But he has not returned, so cannot play his part. Our story cannot be relived, cannot be retold. I do not understand how this could be. There is more to mortals than I had thought.
Convinced of Olane's threat, agreed to free the town. The people offered thanks and praise, and quietly she went her ways. Once the ill were brought to health, and the villain had fallen by, good Olane returned to mortal ground, and gifted them with magic found.
You haven't seen an angry-looking Docklefar, have you? Pointy beard? No? People call me a thief, but I've never stolen anything. Occasionally I'll use other people's houses while they're away. I don't see what they're so angry about. So I have to come out here now and again to let things in town cool off. Always attracts a few treasure hunters, convinced the ruins are full of ancient riches. Bunch of lunatics, if you ask me. Always attract bunch of lunatics. Nothing to it, really. You just need to get the feel for it. Once you have that, no door stays locked for long.
Turin's dead, but I can't dwell on that now. Thank you for returning this scroll to me. You have no idea how important it is. Please, I can't. I need to think clearly. I have things I need to do in this forest. Afterwards, later, I'll sort it all out.
chrysolite. Each and every one. You are as a second Budrill. I will prepare for my part while you plant the seeds. Place one on each earthen mound around this space. Do you see where? Ah, good. Look around this space. For each seed there is a mound along the edge. Place one in each so that I may begin. Leave and go in peace, young one. Now, stand on the platform so that we can begin. Now the ceremony begins. Stand in the middle of the platform. We must begin the ceremony. You, farewell. What? Why do you remain? That's not how the ceremony goes. You were supposed to give yourself to the sprites, as Bodril always did. Instead, look at them. You've killed them all. Well, of course they were. What else would they be? So lovely they're flowering. Had they lived, they would have spread through vale and hill a lustrous fluttering of wings and tails and claws. This I had not considered. Mortals forever perplex me. You are not Bodril, so I must make allowances. Very well. Although this was not as I hoped, you could only do what fate permits. But since Bodril should be gone, so should you. Leave Brunwath. But first, have this. A gift of the flowering. Never before. Mortal. Farewell.
Greetings. For your coin, I can help you improve your step. Let your steps fall silently. Pleasant travels. I hear that. What do you want to?
Need an aunt? Now come, fellow traveler. Ain't much like a bit of gossip to soothe the tongue, isn't it? May the ground be soft, and your the shadows precede you.
Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Are you looking to buy items? Or sell them. Always looking to make a bit of. Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Are you looking to buy items or sell them? If you need another trade, then come and see them.
You have freed Grim. That was well done of you. I heard that he is now on a mission of his own, but I know not where. I wish him well. But his accusations of the Hierophant's betrayal are disconcerting. Would the Hierophant truly go so far to quell one voice of dissension? Your jobs here are finished. It is time you go to Moon Camp in the plains of Erethel. The leader of that camp, Irian Tal, will have work waiting. May the wind be... Many welcomes to Star Camp, traveler. Trade, rest, and enjoy yourself. You must away from these woods, through the plains of Erethel. Nestled on the coast is Moon Camp. You have lived enough of our ways to understand, perhaps. The Hierophant is the ruler of the travelers, as you know. Where is the freedom in acquiescing to another's will? We profit from the Hierophant's wisdom, but pay for it in service. It is a high cost. Moon Camp is a traveler's base in the plains of Erethel. There is much opportunity there for a thief of your caliber. May the road rise to meet you.
Do not distract me, Dustin.
Yes, what do you want? I take this responsibility.
Welcome to the Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Court and the warm heart of the Feylands. It is a rare occasion for us to welcome a child of dust into Issa, but it is equally rare that Niralam chooses a champion. Pleased to meet you. I am Chancellor to the High King. I pray you enjoy our hospitality. The sapling of the World Tree bears centuries of great wisdom. Of course, long-lived as Nirlam is, it is still regrettably mortal. Even all greatest mortal wisdom cannot compare to the perspective given by true agelessness. Begging your pardon, of course. We are the Summer Court, the very embodiments of courage, honor, and all things bright and proud. Some envious few in the Winter Court would call us arrogant and self-righteous, as well as all manner of other epithets. But remember, we are the ones who stayed true to tradition, while they turned to barbarism. The Tuatha find new recruits from our ranks. The ranks of the Fae were not always sullied by the presence of anything so coarse as the Tuatha. Once, the Summer and Winter Courts existed in harmony. But Gadflow perverted the Winter Court with talk of his new god, and from that poison, the Tuatha arose. Too many mortals misunderstand the Winter Court. Our cold cousins are not evil, but merely evoke the darker truths of nature, from subtlety to decay. Perhaps it makes sense that children of dust are put off by those who embody their inevitable death, but it is regrettable that so many are misunderstood. Truly a place of wonder, as it has always been and always shall be. Here springs the life well of Dalentarth, and the greater Feylands in all directions. It is a pity that some of our kind have fallen to such degenerative states, but we cannot shed a tear for their weakness. High King Titarian is Lord of the Summer Fae, the font of all our wisdom, and first amongst the immortals. And since Gadflow tragically murdered the High King of the Winter Court, Titarian is the greatest and last true leader left of our kind.
Yes, Your Grace.
Please, come forward into the light of the font. Don't linger there. I need to see you. Closer. Oh, fascinating. I had heard the telling of your ascension in the House of Ballads, but I never expected to lay eyes upon you. You are free to roam the city at your leisure, even the trellis and the understyle. If you seek mortal trappings, then Felltown will provide. The gardens have been here since the first of our kind sprang forth. Only in the last few mortal years have we chosen to make it known to your people, with good reason. This is a safe place, and we intend to keep it that way. To that end, we ask mortals to adhere to the Peace Edict, which forbids weapons in the city. Most mortals in Issa are stripped of weapons upon entering the city. However, there are a few exceptions. Ambassadors and guests of the near limb. We do this for your own protection, of course. There is a fire in dustling blood that must be quenched by violence. I've never understood it. There is little that mortals need to know about the trellis, for it is where the worthy await their moment before the High King. Everyone who stands before the light of the sun must prepare themselves, lest they be blinded. It is behind me, up the great winding stairs. Once, the understyle was all around you, spreading from the garden's gates to the great trunks of the trellis. But that was before the mortals came. It is a special district set aside for the young races. A haven, if you will. We encourage you to stay within its confines for your own protection. Do not worry. Felltown has the amenities that your kind need to lead a mortal life, such as merchants, a smithy, and a tavern for evening exploits. High King Titarian fulfills his role as our wise ruler. He gathers around him the bravest and most gifted advisors, and together they make up the Court of Summer. Like his predecessors, Titarian's goal is to maintain the Great Cycle, and to keep the balance that has sustained us for all these many seasons. Every living creature in our world is part of a chain of death and rebirth, even the Fae. However, when we pass into the flow of our Great Cycle, we return again. The king rules from his throne high above on the font, and he has done so for many seasons. You should know this, since you've been sent to speak with him. The font is older than everything around you. It is the origin from which we flow. If you search for the heart of Summer Court magic, you will find the font. Goodbye, Your Grace.
The font's magic is too great to be possessed, but it can be controlled. The Lycian Grove is where we regulate its magic.
Ignore Steward Brio. He is always in a panic. Always one step behind in his duties.
Your crystal war will never come here to Issa. All seasons change, and rebirth waits around every corner.
Greetings. What have I done now? Someone in Issa is always looking to send me away. But I won't go. No. Well, if it isn't the mortal I've heard so much about. Congratulations on your successes in the House of Ballads. Well done indeed. I have done little in my many seasons, than venture to this place and attempt to gain an audience with King Titarian. I have yet to succeed, but I keep coming. I have heard he is a noble spirit, a beacon of wisdom and calm in this changing world. I will never know for certain if this is true, unless I look upon him directly. All those who come to greet the king must first be granted permission by the Hall of Appointments in the Understyle, which, I might say, seems rather inconvenient. You mortals are talented at fighting what is natural. Perhaps this is your influence.
waste of
If you want to see a remarkable sight, venture to the higher terrace
What
of Design.
owls, Evan? I've caught the voices of my old companions.
May Lyria touch the court, pleading with the...
It is a glorious day. Your crystal war will never come here to Isa.
Such a predicament. Oh, excellent. Another... Oh, a mortal. I don't think I could... Oh, why, you're the ruler of the House of Ballads. How extraordinary. You wouldn't be interested in aiding a mere squire, would you? It is well beyond your station to do so, but, well, I face quite the predicament. My role is with the Hall of Appointments, to prepare visiting ambassadors and dignitaries to meet with the Court of Summer. Right now, there are 4 terrible, regal lords and ladies that wish to see High King Tartarian, but they are a fickle lot and require extra, handling. They must enter the font in a procession, but each has his or her own preferences, and I can't afford to offend any of them. Wonderful. That's one less aggravation that demands my concern. Thank you, mortal. The dignitaries have been seen about the gardens, enjoying its many splendors. I will remain here and await your advice. Everywhere. Goronet is in the Hall of Appointments, but the others are all over the city. What a nightmare. I enjoy my role as steward, but my fear of Lady Olana overshadows any pleasure I might find in the tasks assigned to me. She is quite critical. I am steward of the High King's List and apprentice to the Lady of Receivership. Olana will be so displeased once she finds out I failed her so. She is well suited to her role as the Lady of Receivership, as she enjoys judging the worth of others. She has assessed me as well, and I have been found lacking. Well, I've never met him, of course. Such an honor is not granted to squires. But they say he is quite incredible, as tall as a tree and radiating a great light, as though a sun burned within him. The birds sing to herald his glory. Few dustlings ever make their way to these gardens. I believe they fear us, as they fear the elements. As they should. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not like to be called dustlings? Farewell, honorable one.
I don't trust you, dustlings.
Your mortal ambassadors will not give up.
This is a place of great importance. Please refrain from touching anything. Welcome to the Lyceum Grove, where the great font of Isa finds...
Oh, hello. I didn't see you. You'll have to excuse my state, Your Grace. The House of Ballads rarely sends its ruler to meet with me. I usually entertain mortals from Felltown. If you ever wish to welcome to the Lyceum Grove, my liege. How may I aid the House of Ballads? I am the steward of tinctures and elixirs. A meaningless title, one I gave myself, actually. But my work is vital, as is my role, to test the font's magic. Font Master Nomeron insists that everything flows as it should, yet I have seen his worry, and I feel the magic weakening. Strange forces are at work. This is where we watch over the font, the source of magic in the gardens of Issa. It is a fountainhead that is nourished for as long as this world has been. The font's flow can be measured, directed, and even regulated, depending on the needs of our people. Font Master Nomeron attends to these duties. I enjoy the mortal world immensely. It adds such texture and color to our experience. Now and then you might find me in your dustling district, taking in the bustle. It may be difficult to believe, but this city was once inhabited only by Fae. The understyle consisted of everything growing beneath the font. Now this important section of the Issa is but a dark corner, all but forgotten. He has the role of monitoring the font's flow throughout the city and the Feylands. His telling is not to be envied, as it is one of our most important. If you ever wish to learn, come visit. Welcome to the Lyceum Grove, if you ever wish to learn. Come visit.
May the cycle keep you.
Turn away, mortal. The Den of Night is meant for the impudent. Your entrance shall be denied. It is where the brazen and unrepentant are sent to consider their crimes. Must I point out that the Den of Night's occupants are almost always mortals? They are given time to reflect, and when they are ready, they may brave the beasts of the hollow to return to us here on the surface. It's a great privilege for mortals to reside in this, our most sacred dwelling. Try to deny your dustling impulses and resist from killing each other. My own telling has brought me here to the gardens of Issa, to act as one of its guardians and caretakers. I'll protect it from any threat, including you. It's a great privilege for mortals. My own telling has brought me here to the gardens of Issa, to act as one of its guardians and caretakers. I'll protect it from any threat, including you. I do not want to see you in here, mortal.
Guards are vicious. Don't anger them.
I hope you're here about the job. Demand is higher than ever. I'm just too busy to deal with anything else. Goodbye. My apologies, but there is too much work and... Goodbye. My apologies, but goodbye. My apologies, but there is too much work and only one man to... Making a fortune is what? These visitors come with obscene amounts of gold or treasure. They don't mind parting with it. My plan was brilliant. I created a blade. Fey blade, of course, that makes them authentic, something all of them had to have. That's all they care about anyway. Fey souvenirs. I called it the Honor brand. Truth be told, it's dull as a stick, but it's easy to make. Listen, if you can find the parts and make them, I'll pay good money. Your loss, my friend. There's a fortune to be made in this city. Goodbye. My apologies, but there is too much... Tell me, are you hard-working? Do you play fair? Are you more interested in quality than quantity? If you're any of those things, you probably want to go elsewhere. Your loss, my friend. Sure. You want to know about me? It's understandable. You want to know who you're going into business with. A wise move. Very wise. My mother was a merchant in Rathir, and I learned the trade at her side. I took the apprenticeship with Gwenna Hand, mostly to get me into Issa. Now I'm on my own. She's the general merchant in the United Merchants delegation down the road. We've been friends for years now, I believe. A good, honest one, that Gwenna. Not just anyone can enter the secret city of the Fae. Oh, no. You need an ambassador's endorsement and written authorization, and that's just to be in the lottery. Those in the United Merchants are the lucky ones. Of course, once you see how much gold they actually make in Issa, you will no longer envy them. It's safe, that's for sure. At least for the time being. I don't quite understand the Fae, but they definitely know how to keep a city quiet. You think I like being confined to this cage? Think again. And after all we've done for them in this war, ungrateful creatures. I can sum up the war in one word. Folly. It is folly. You will see. Everyone will see. What do I know of Fae politics? I didn't even know they had a city until Gwen and I were allowed in. All I know is that there's opportunity here, thanks to the war. I can sum up the war in... Tell me, are you hard-working? Fabulous, fabulous! You know a good deal when you see it. There aren't enough people like you in Issa. The Fae don't even use money. Can you imagine? Once you start forging the honor brands, bring them to me and I'll provide you with just compensation. There should be plenty of parts around the city. For creatures with no interest in possessions, they sure know how to collect a fair amount of junk. It's you and me, friend.
The Scolia Archon.
Hello.
If you'll be so kind as to not disturb me.
worthy of Mithoru's blessings.
Mithoru is the path in the darkness, the cry in the night.
Why are you worthy of Mithoru's blessings?
There is but one true pattern. One design. If you want to see a remarkable sight, venture to the higher terrace.
How do you know to believe?
I know the purpose given me, the reason I am here.
Olaine will not tell you of this. She disapproves of pride. She does embody nature's tooth, a sharp and silent, simple truth. And yet Olaine will always shine among the ballad's lore. For humble though her carriage be, a greater knight we'll never see.
Oldham's here. Get over here. We don't abide by strangers in Issa. In this city, everyone is family. If you want to get around the peace edict, you'll have to keep your voice down. Not much to tell. Heard the war horn of the recruiters and packed my bags. Slipped out in the dead of the night, I did. And I'm proud of it. What good is fighting when the Tuatha don't die? Besides, I'm a businessman. I got my hand on a pass into Issa, and the rest has been waterfalls and walks by the river. Well, technically, we're not supposed to carry or sell weapons in Issa, but I found a few loopholes. As have you. If you're on the market for something deadly, I'm your man. Just don't go blabbing about it to the Fae. They've got buds for brains. It's better than the cellar crawl space I called home just 2 months ago, believe me. The Fae may be grumpy, but they've got nothing on giant rats. It's not exactly the keys of Rathir, or even the hospitalis quarters of Edessa. But Felltown has its charm. If you find out what it is, be sure to come and find me. You know, that neighborhood in the gnome city of Edessa where the poor live. Oh, it's a lot of fun. The Dockside district in Rathir is a lovely place, if you're looking to have your throat cut or contract a nasty disease. Remember it next time you travel there. Farewell. The Fae like us to stay out of the Understyle. That's their district. Our kind linger in the shadows of Felltown.
Best goods in Issa. If you're looking to buy armor, I'm the only one in Felltown who's authorized to sell it. I'm Gwen Hand, but my customers call me Gwen. I don't have many weapons to offer, on account of the peace edict, but there's still a selection to pick through. Have at it. My twin brother and I were entering the army to fight for the Alpha when I panicked. I couldn't. I'm not a fighter. I came to Issa instead. I'm not proud of running, but I'm much more useful here, as an unofficial ambassador of sorts. Not everyone's a fighter. The Fae didn't have laws, at least not official ones, until we arrived. Now they insist that those of us who live in Issa must keep its peace. No weapons. You must be one of the special exemptions. Let me guess. Ambassador? Scholia Arcana? Could be anything. Being here isn't good for business, that's for sure. I see the same damn 20 faces every day. But it's an honor for Britt and I to be here. Make no mistake about that. He's a dear friend from years ago. He spent time as my apprentice, but recently set out on his own. He sells authentic ritual Fey blades outside in the square. This is where the Fey keep us so we don't blemish their pretty city. Can't say I blame them. We're an unruly and ugly lot, mortals. The Tuatha were intensifying their attacks against Mel Sinshir, the bastion in the east. Of course, that's just rumors. I pray they're not true. Come back again.
May the hunt go well. Memory Walk is an unnatural place. Cursed by the Fae's false gods. I would avoid it.
Get to know your blade here. You've been watching me long enough. What is it? Did I wrong you in another life, sister? What you've no doubt heard is correct. I am the Holt Fren. I forged Bolgan's Bane of the Kaled Coast, and many other legendary pieces. My youth was spent as a mercenary, but I have since renounced those ways. Unfortunately, my enemies have long memories, and they aren't as forgiving as I am. It is an ancient Alfar kingdom far across the sea in the dense swamps of Klurkon. I once helped its great lords overcome a terrible Bolgan problem. If you're willing to spare the gold, I can teach you what I know. In this battered it's a lifetime of knowledge, and quite a few stories as well. I have no interest in this war between mortals and the deathless. It is a waste of life, and I have my own private battles to finish. I don't care to stay in one place for too long. Felltown sounded like a good opportunity, and an even better hiding place. I can't say the peace edict has hurt business, but it's not exactly easy to train students in blacksmithing without weapons around. I have no interest in this. It's as good a place as any, I guess. But after a while, people begin to remember you. And for someone like me, that's a problem. I prefer anonymity. Besides, could there be a better place to hide from this offensive war? The only weapons you find in a garden are the blades of grass. Let the Fae try to stop me from carrying arms in the city. Weapons are my trade, my only expertise. It would be like asking a hen to stop laying eggs. Farewell.
May Lyria touch.
Then we must do what needs to be done.
Perhaps we must finally swallow our dignity and draw our swords. Quiet. We must not discuss this further in the open. Welcome. You must be the special messenger Tartaryans expecting. Trust me, the rest of us have heard plenty about it. Erwin can't keep his big mouth shut. I am Methani Keen, Dokalfar ambassador to the Summer Court Fae. I'm sorry. This is a difficult position sometimes. Goodbye. Hello again. I hope you're not planning to depart. There is much to be done, as we must convince the Summer Fae to join the war effort. Something is about to happen, and it must be stopped. But that is all I can say. This is neither the time nor the place. If you're interested in hearing my story, meet me in the worship circle after dark, near the gates. I will wait for you there. This is not the place. I will meet you in the time and place I specified. Issa is fine, and the Fae are tolerable, but many believe they should do more to support the war effort. It's unjust to live in peace while the rest of the world burns. They are a council of Fae nobles that advise the High King in matters of politics. Not that they even understand what that means. To them, politics is just a game. Well, more of a game than usual. You understand my meaning. Not everyone is welcome up there. It's where the court of summer nobles spend their time reminding themselves of past glories. I'd avoid it. This is where the Fae hide us to keep us out of sight. I used to take offense, but I got over it. I wouldn't want to live near them. Strange things, the Fae. I've met with him several times. I'll admit, he radiates a certain presence, but I'm less interested in charisma than I am in leadership. Goodbye.
Do you have the authority to be here? The gardens of Issa are for the privileged few with papers.
Let me guess. You're here to buy a title. No? A bribe, is that what you want? Listen to me. I'm no one's plaything. I apologize. Forgive me. Sometimes the work in this place is too much. I thought Issa would be different, but it's just another nest of snakes. You think I want to be here, stuck in this giant vegetable? Never. My mother volunteered me for this position, and I had no choice. I have a young soldier back home who waits for me, but can I be with him before he sails? No. I have to administer to the Fae. I don't believe the Fae see the Losselfar and Dokalfar as separate groups. They tend to view the world in strict generalities, along bloodlines and origins. Sometimes working alongside the Dokkelfar is difficult, but we have an arrangement. They adhere to their goals and methods, and we adhere to ours. Do yourself this one favor and leave this place as quickly as you came. It's a den of deceit and malice. You don't want friends like these. The war is the only reason I'm not still resisting my appointment. Something must be done. You know it as well as I do. The Fae... Who knows our enemy better? I understand. Well, I can offer you the traditional Alpha titles that are available at the embassy. That's fine. If you change your mind, please do come back. Bye then.
I apologize, but one of my station has many obligations to attend to. Please. I apologize, but one of my...
Welcome to the embassy, young one. I am Scholar Icob of the Domus Politica. What brings you to my chamber? We have a unique interest in the Fae, but I cannot explain further. I will say this. Their supposed immortality poses a problem to all mortals. The scholars in Odessa have a keen interest in gaining High King Titarian's trust and cooperation. There's so much to learn from him. I have no love for the other races here, if that's what you're asking. The Varani are coarse and brutal, while the Alpha are scheming and treacherous. The Allmain, well, they don't leave much of an impression, if I must be honest. I'll forgive them for their blandness. After all, they are so young. I've had a long career as an ambassador with the Domus Politica, and as a clerk in the Grand Bursars. But the real work will be done out here, in the wider world. A flighty creature. During my audience with the king, he forgot my name not once, but twice. It was insulting. But did he notice? Never. We find them endlessly fascinating, in their ambition, in their magic, and in their disregard for the natural order. We could learn much from such creatures. The Allmain. There's much to be gained from an alliance with the Summer Court, although I can't say I enjoy working with Fae directly. They're too set in their ways, too rigid. They've already grown and changed. The Tuatha themselves are a new breed of creature. A fascinating amalgam that should be explored. Of course. It's one simple service I can provide. Perhaps with time and effort, you will one day reside with us here, in the embassy. We all must consider our choices. Until we speak again. Until we meet again.
I am Ambassador Brenner. If you wish to deal with the Varani, I am your contact. This is not a life I chose, here in this fetid swamp of a city. I was raised on the sea, an adventurer and warrior. I survived, and that made me what you see before you. I do not enjoy this position, talking instead of fighting, speaking of the enemy instead of facing them, but I have a job to do, and I will do it. They don't deserve the breath I waste on them. There are powerful warriors in their ranks, but as a group they share no collective spine. They have no reason to fight.
Aren't you bold? This is the Varani wing of the embassy, and few venture here without being summoned. I'm Ambassador Odvar, he who bloodies the waters. I have served my people for 40 years, in war and in peace. Now I serve here, in the gardens. It is here where the important battles are fought. The Battle of Wills. I enjoy being this close to those I'm competing against. That's what this is, isn't it? A conflict in which we struggle to gain the ear of the Fae? As always, the Varani will triumph. I have lived in less hospitable places. The Fae may not understand what it means to be mortal, but they certainly have an eye for beauty. The High King knows why we are here, yet he does nothing. Our people die at the hands of the Tuatha, Fae, but the Fae themselves show no remorse. Titarian and the Summer Court will know our anger, and they will aid us or perish. The Varani allow the purchase of several titles for use in the gardens of Issa, but they are rare and should be worn with great respect. No skin from my nose. Your business is... Leave me to my business. Are you here to purchase a title or just to waste my waking hours? Leave me to my business. Hello, I am Ambassador Calder of the Almain. We may be new to the region, but we are just as involved in matters of the Fae and the war. Like most of my kin, I have humble roots. My parents were both trappers on the Snaketail River, feeding much of Whitestone Village back before it fell on hard times. Despite my position as lead ambassador to the Summer Court, I am an outsider. There is bad blood between some of the races. As a result, I try to steer my own course. I do not wish to speak ill of other diplomats, but Ambassadors Keen and Brenner of the Alfar and Varani are plotting against each other, as if we need more deception. It is simply an honor to be here. We Almain are doing our part for the war effort, but there are plenty of other relationships to forge far from the battlefields. The Almain are new to diplomacy, but there are still several powerful titles available for purchase. It's your money, friend. Spend it wisely, and as you choose. See you later, friend.